Tzu Chi helps the residents in Keelung clean her home after torrential rain hit over the past weekend. Issues and improvements in flight safety arise after the fateful airplane crash in Penghu years ago. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret. Thank you for joining us. This past weekend, Northern Taiwan was hit by torrential rain. After hearing that a house in Keelung was severely affected, Tzu Chi immediately mobilized volunteers to help the homeowner clean her home. In addition, the volunteers will continue to provide her with ongoing assistance. Water from the inside of the house pours out, leading the door to be stuck, as this residence on the Dongxing Road in Keelung is located halfway up a mountain. It is severely affected by the torrential rain.
There's a stadium behind and the water there is rushing over. The ditch was damaged by the heavy rain, causing this residence to be flooded. The water came in from the kitchen and the bathroom in back and then came out like this.
Fortunately, when the torrential rain hit this area, the homeowner took refuge at her neighbor's home. After the household was referred to Tzu Chi by the borough chief, volunteers mobilized to help with the cleanup.
The house was full of clutter, so we contacted some Tzu Chi volunteers to check the situation and help the homeowner clean the home. We cleared out the items, so she has an aisle to walk through.
We have formed a team and will continue to provide ongoing assistance. Besides caring for her, we'll also help clean her home.
Although the flood water has receded, most of the rooms are messy and unsanitary. Both the bathroom and kitchen are also unavailable for. Currently, the homeowner has been settled in a local activity center. Tzu Chi volunteers are there to accompany her and will continue to help restore her home. Cambodia has been suffering from flooding problems since the end of July. To help the affected residents get through the hard times, 34 Cambodia Tzu Chi volunteers collaborated with the provincial government and local social welfare organizations to conduct relief distributions.
In Sanchuan County, the roads have turned into rivers. Affected by the rainy season, the water level of the Mekong River is soaring. The residents have suffered from the flood for more than a month now.
The flooding has affected the farming villages. The banana trees have all fallen down.
There's nothing to eat and nowhere to sleep. The affected residents keep on climbing to higher areas. A piece of cloth, a bed, becomes a temporary shelter for a family of 4.
The home is completely flooded and there are many problems. The fear of snakes and insects. The whole family lives in this condition.
After Tzu Chi volunteers surveyed the disaster areas, they cooperated with the provincial government, the local medical teams, and youth organizations to start the distribution of relief goods. $40 kilograms of rice per household, a box of instant noodles, and 2 loaves of bread is enough for a family of 4 to eat for a month.
When I received the instant noodles and the rice, I was really happy because my home is completely flooded, so there's no food left.
I'm very grateful and I wish you all peace and serenity.
Tzu Chi also considered about Muslim affected residents. That's why the distributed goods were suitable for everyone to eat. The aid spanned across all religious beliefs.
879 households went home with all the distributed goods that were filled with the great love from worldwide donors.
In August of this year, United States East Coast experienced multiple floodings, damaging many homes in the northeastern states. Tzu Chi volunteers distribute prepaid debit cards along with blankets and other relief assistance.
Heavy rains caused damage to foundations and road surface collapse as the whole area is damaged.
Last week, heavy rains led to flooding to this level. This is about the height of the houses down there. It's about 1 story in height.
Fully loaded with goods, this car sets out. The Tzu Chi New Jersey chapter is supporting the Philadelphia Liaison Office, which is a 2-hour car ride. That time, the river flooded this residential area as these houses have to be evacuated.
So do you live here?
I live here.
Oh, you live here?
Yes.
Yeah, we are Tzu Chi volunteers.
Yes,
yeah,
hi.
we got contacted by Red Cross.
Okay.
And a couple of days ago, they asked us to, because they were here.
Hi, how are you? My name's Kathy. Thank you.
Kathy is a real estate agent, and August is the peak period for the industry in the United States. She still allocates half a day of her schedule to help. In response to the flooding, Tzu Chi gave each household a $500 prepaid debit card, a blanket, a red envelope of blessing and wisdom, and other materials.
We record the bottled water, all the recycle, to make this blanket.
Really?
Yes, $500 in the
value. Okay.
value.
So you
But-
just can go ahead to the store to.
That's we must get rid of the bridge.
Good.
That's good for your life. Thank you. Okay.
Really get the kids new school sneakers. They need some sneakers, and then probably help with like maybe moving or anything I need for the new house, like furniture or new blankets or anything like that.
Yes, it's free.
Yeah.
Providing instant warmth to flood survivors helps them begin the important task of getting back on the road to recovery.
Keelung is ranked as one of the most active volcanoes in the world. The latest activity started on May 4th of this year and has only recently begun to come down a bit. More than 700 houses and businesses have been ravaged by the lava flows, with more than 2,000 people evacuated from the hardest hit areas. Let's hear some of their remarkable survivor stories.
I'm staying here at the Milk and Honey Farm. I've been here since early May, and this is my ohana. That means family, extended family in Hawaii, where we had a major disaster when Madame Pele decided to expand into Lower Puna and create a lava flow, and is still very active.
My old home was on Ho'okupu Street. I was 2 streets away from the very first fissure, which is Fissure 1. Numerous fissures opened up in the neighborhood, a total of 24, I believe. The cracks have basically gotten wider and wider and wider for every week that goes by.
All the stuff that falls down from the sky, it comes down in big chunks and then it breaks up from the weather. It's made out of glass and ashes and other things, minerals that come, and that falls down all the time. Living day by day like that and not having knowledge about anything, it's very unsettling. So I go between hope and despair. If I survive this, if the land survives it, then I have a place.
Money, love, support, you know, food and clothing, you need all these things. And there has been tremendous outpour of support from people all over the world. But the other day I did see that through the organization. It's very helpful.
There's, I believe, in the right path and destiny, and something, if I keep trying, something will open up.
In Serbia, Tzu Chi held the 4th back-to-school distribution at a refugee camp. After receiving the new school bags and supplies, the refugee children can now enjoy the excitement of starting a new school year without worries. The girls are singing with joy because they are looking forward to the new school semester. Tzu Chi volunteers sent them school bags and supplies just in time. Ziba, who comes from Iran, cherishes the opportunity to learn.
And go to school. I couldn't go to somewhere that I really want, because they didn't allow me. And we came because of a better life.
Austria Tzu Chi volunteer Yu Yueyin delivers school bags to the refugees, realizing her commitments to them.
In May, when we went to Serbia to hold the Buddha Day ceremony, we learned that many children there needed school supplies for their new school semester in September. Since it was during the Dragon Boat Festival, we decided to wrap zhongzi to raise funds for them.
Thanks to many kind-hearted people's support, the proceeds of the charity sale has exceeded her expectation. To care for the refugees in Serbia, she has traveled to and from between Austria and Serbia for many times. Another volunteer from Taiwan, Liang Xingyue, saw the sadness of her past from a refugee's mother.
My child also passed away in an accident. After I shared my experience with her, she was astonished. She then hugged me and burst into tears.
At the refugee camp, the volunteers witnessed the true power of love, which is able to heal everyone's emotional pain.
Four years ago, a Trans-Asia Airways flight carrying 58 passengers and crew flew from Taiwan to the Penghu airport. The flight encountered severe typhoon weather, causing it to misjudge the runway, making it crash into the nearby Xixi village. It was the worst air crash in a decade. However, this had led to many improvements in overall flight safety.
This event is the most painful page in the history of Taiwan's flight safety. Where I'm standing is Penghu Xixi village, where 4 years ago a Trans-Asia Airlines plane landed and broke into 3 pieces along with a big explosion, as most of the passengers on board perished here.
I was listening and it sounded like thunder. I did not think that plane exploded. I never thought about this, as an airplane has never crashed here.
Xixi villagers never thought about the possibility of a plane crashing into their house.
These damaged houses were compensated by Trans-Asia Airways, and if you look over there, all the damaged houses have been rebuilt.
That night, many families were eagerly looking forward to the safe return of loved ones, but this wish eventually turned into regret.
A week before the crash, before leaving Penghu, my uncle, he told me he wanted to build a new temple in Chongguang Borough. He even came over and discussed it with me, but when he passed away in the plane crash, his dream never materialized.
Ye Kun Chuang was a national treasure, a master carpenter who built many temples before dying in his fateful flight. When examining the cause of the accident, it was revealed that the pilot didn't follow standard operating procedures and lost control of the plane. Although the cause of the accident is mostly human, procedures at the Penghu airport needed close review. This monitors the airport runway with a total of 9 screens dedicated to this. Penghu Airport has around 140 takeoffs and landings every day, all watched by airport terminal personnel. Manual controls were once common here, but after this accident, the Penghu Airport installed the ILS instrumentation system with high-tech instruments, improving the precise positioning of the aircraft when landing.
Penghu Airport's north-south runway is not good in terms of terrain, so we all use VOR to bring in the plane. After the crash, to overcome terrain obstacles, we use more accurate ILS instrumentation.
To improve flight navigation, Penghu Airport's long-standing terrain limitations need to be overcome by the Civil Aeronautics Administration. The entrance lights to the airport is 420 meters at the north end. Every year, from May to September, when the south winds blow, the plane descends against the wind, using the entrance light from north to south. And from October to April, with north-northeasterly winds, the plane has to land from the other direction. Because the approach light channel at the southern end is 720 meters, this is typically the safer landing.
The TransAsia Airways crash may have been caused by lack of adequate equipment from the northern end of the runway. This may include insufficient lights for takeoff and landing.
The TransAsia Airways flight in July 2014 was subject to strong winds and rain, and the absence of lights made it difficult to see the runway, resulting in a crash in the nearby village. As a result of this crash, more lights have been added at the northern end, with the addition of a 420-meter-long entry light. From May to September, when planes land, you can see that there are many lights guiding planes in. It is very bright and it is a safe landing system. But when we look back at the plane crash 4 years ago, these entry lights did not exist. In response to the various shortcomings of the air crash, the Civil Aeronautics Administration has strengthened its efforts to prevent the tragedy from repeating itself. While the pain of the crash begins to fade away, the scenery of Penghu remains beautiful. There are still many beautiful stories here which continue to inspire many people.
Staying in Taiwan, Taichung Tzu Chi nursing home has a 23-year-old caregiver named Liao Si-wen. She majored in geriatrics and successfully landed a job as a caregiver at a nursing home after graduation. She cares for the elderly patients like her own grandparents. Let's take a look at her amazing bond with the seniors.
爷爷喝牛奶啊，哈，好。
At 23 years old, it's the height of youth, where many girls are drawn to glamorous jobs.
爷爷，脚要动哦，再一次哦。你刚刚很厉害耶！1、2、3，哎呦，哦。
Wearing a protective belt is a daily routine when helping the elderly patients. Caregiver Liao Si-wen is the confidant for many of the senior citizens.
那你不能再叫我小姐啊，对不对？太老了，小姐太老了。啊，我叫什么名字？你几岁？103岁。
Between Grandpa Mao and Liao Si-wen, there's an age difference of 80 years.
We are like their grandchildren. We play with them, making sure that they are in a happy mood. Whenever we make them smile, they will start to think that today someone cares about me. It's pure joy.
你叫毛还是毛毛？毛，毛毛，爷爷，都是你啊。
The staff members here to him are friendlier and more caring.
Liao Si-wen has always been involved in charity organizations. At the Taichung Tzu Chi nursing home, she's a big helper in safeguarding the health of the elderly.
Grandpa Mao was originally bedbound. After several sessions of physical therapy, good nutrition control, his physical status has improved.
Young caregivers in the workplace is still a minority. The process is inevitably difficult. However, with these experiences, perhaps one can deal more calmly about the impermanence of life. Liao Si-wen said that she treats the elderly like children. She overcomes difficulties with enthusiasm. She's learning each and every day.
Tzu Chi volunteers held the 7th Lunar Month prayer ceremony at the Hualien Jinshi Ho on September 9th. Many school principals, counselors, and teachers performed in the sutra adaptation. Let's meet some of these school staff members.
它为什么会让那个温度计下降得更快？好，因为
In this science class, Principal Gan Renxian is teaching the 6th graders who are extremely interested in learning about temperature changes. Although school principals do not have to teach, Gan is still teaching 3 classes per week, so he can maintain his initial aspiration of teaching and educating.
12-year compulsory education will be implemented next year. I think I should learn and grow with the other teachers.
Gan, who has been living near Jingsi abode since he was little, will be participating in the musical adaptation of Sutra of Profound Gratitude toward Parents in Hualien's 7th lunar month prayer ceremony. During the practices, he often thinks of his father who passed away more than 2 years ago. Therefore, he especially cherishes the time he can spend with other people.
When your parents are around, you would not think that fulfilling filial duties is a big deal. However, after your parents pass away, there's no more opportunities to be filial. Therefore, I often tell my friends to seize the time and practice filial piety.
At another school, Counselor Lai Mingfu is discussing with the principal about the rehearsals of the musical adaptation. Lai, who is participating in Tzu Chi events for the first time, will perform the sutra adaptation with 6 chorus members.
Besides the boys from the chorus, they can also help other students at our school understand the principles of gratitude and cherishing blessings.
These children were not very willing to participate in the beginning. However, after watching how Tzu Chi volunteers have put in much efforts, they gradually see it as an important activity during their summer vacation.
The participants use their smartphones to schedule rehearsals as well as discuss and share their thoughts. Lai said that while they want to pass on wholesome teaching through the musical adaptation, they've also gained much from the experience.
Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter held a sutra performance competition. By participating in the event, volunteers and DaAi TV Indonesia staff members learned to unite together. They also used the chance to spread Tzu Chi's humanistic culture ideals. These uniform movements create solemn atmosphere for this sutra adaptation contest. It is held in Indonesia's Jingsi Ho, attended by volunteers, DaAi TV Indonesia staff members, and Tzu Chi schools.
To be consistent in movement besides practice every day, we also need to take everyone's interest into consideration. In order to have a great achievement, we should not only think about personal benefits.
Through practice, the participants have learned to unite with their team members. Wei Alam will bring this experience into action both in his life and work. There is the child practicing with the participants. Volunteer Tim Mujano is thankful for the support of his wife and child. During this period of time, he has not only been able to spend more time with his family, but has also become more active in the performance.
I'm very happy because everyone is united. It's not easy for 30 people to work together to accomplish this task. Some people have to work while others are busy with their household chores. To tell the truth, this requires everyone's determination. Thankfully, my wife and child are both interested in it.
Through the sutra performance competition, Tzu Chi humanitarianism will become rooted in everyone's hearts. After the contest, the power of great love will continue to spread. On the first day of the new semester, Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology held a second-hand book sale on campus. Students rushed to make a purchase, both in hopes to cherish the value and extend the lives of books itself. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.